for the clubs. They are, the original clubs that are selling food are right near the entrance. You go pop in right near the entrance, center of the mall, and then right about in front of the Stevie Eller Dance Studio, we have a loop set up that a lot of the rides and some of the other game and food booths will be on.
That's a good idea.
So this is the largest student-run carnival in the nation, but of course the rides themselves, like the carnies, come in, right?
Carnival workers.
Oh,
Carnival workers.
And so those are all run, by the professionals. But what can we see that the students are doing? What kind of, Amanda's just listed all this great food. What can we see the students actually bringing to the table?
Well, the cool thing about Spring Fling is it originally started as sort of a fundraiser for clubs. So the main focus for the clubs is these different types of foods that they do have there. And for a lot of these different clubs, it is the main fundraiser of the year. So you've got a whole diverse from sororities to fraternities and even just honoraries on campus that any of this food that they make and sell at the fair actually goes back to their club. So that's a really interesting and diverse thing that we do with Spring Fling.
Is it also used as like a recruiting tool as well? I mean, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of freshmen that didn't even know a lot of these clubs even existed, and now they get to do it in a fun and interesting way.
Yeah, we do. There will be, through different groups on campus, we'll have like 3 or 4 different recruiting events happening, along with some early academic outreach programs through the university, some science, engineering, math group will be, we've given them some promotional admission to get students that are younger in the Tucson community that'll be on campus that weekend to Spring Fling to see just a different way that you can see your education in action.
Oh, I like that.
And Jared, you're a senior this year, and you said that it's been a while, the process of trying to get the carnival back on campus. Have you basically worked your whole academic life to try and get this back to the U of A Mall?
Well, at least the last 2 years as executive director, that's been my push. And we really had to start at the bare bones of the carnival and look at our operations and make sure, because we couldn't think about moving or suggesting the change before we really had the event solid. So that was the first part of cleaning up the operations, and then the next part of planning the on-campus and suggesting how we wanted to interact with the community, what we were going to do to mitigate concerns not only off-campus but on-campus. So once that's been the last process over the last 2 years, and it's been a long one. I didn't know if we would get here today, but it's a nice way to end my college career.
And were there any restrictions that the school placed on the event, moving it back to the U of A campus?
It really just requires more in-depth planning about getting down to there's a light post here, there's a water line here. We have more utilities than we did at Rito Downs. So we had more people in the planning process on campus to make sure that this would be the best event possible.
And this is the 40th anniversary.
Yes.
What is special about that for you guys?
I think as being a sophomore this year, the cool thing about seeing it come back is it comes back to where it originally started and getting all the alumni outreach. This is the 40th anniversary, and we have so many cool opportunities that are happening. We're getting sponsored by the foundation, as well as doing a bunch of sponsorships with the Green Fund Project, as well as American Authors is going to come and actually perform on Friday night.
Very nice.
So it's so much fun.
Best day of my life.
It is the best day of my life.
You can still do your job.
But it's just such a unique opportunity to really just see how Spring Fling has gone through these different processes and it's coming home. So that's a really great thing to watch and be a part of.
Do you want to tell your joke? Now I feel bad.
Well, now I'm just going to repeat what you said. Precious airtime.
Right, exactly. Okay, so you brought some goodie bags or something. What's this?
Yes, we have 4 admission vouchers, 4 wristband vouchers, and 4 t-shirts, along with a parking map, since parking is complimentary this year.
Oh.
Yeah, no $5 parking.
That's wonderful.
On campus. So we have 3 of those that will be given away, so
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys were really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Anna and Jared, have fun. And even after all these years, there's nothing else like it. This year's Spring Fling is taking place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the University of Arizona Mall. There are lots of opportunities for free entry. Just call 621-5610 or go online to springfling.arizona.edu. Again, that's springfling.arizona.edu.
And right now we have 3 family 4-packs to give away. If you want a chance to win one, just make sure you head to our website, TucsonMorningBlend.com, and click on the contest page.
And still ahead on the Morning Blend, our resident rabbi will tell us why he's hosting actor Ed Asner for Seder dinner in Tucson.
Plus, reflective lens exchange could be the answer to your blurry vision. We'll tell you what it is and why it might be right for you. That's coming up right after this.
Thank you.
Good.
She's defected and came over to the dark side.
He pulled me over here.
Oh, so you're here? Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Staff. Okay.
Yeah. But I heard you.
Remarkable heart and vascular care on the campus of St. Mary's Hospital.
Since 1954, Kathy's Sewing and Vacuum has provided the finest sewing machines and vacuum cleaners available. Today, we're still here offering the best products, information, service, and support. Kathy's Sewing and Vacuum. Your dirt is our business, and so is your sewing.
Ellen is all new, all April, all May.
Ellen, weekdays at 4.
If you are 40 plus and cannot see clearly, there may be a surgical option to improve your vision.
Refractive lens exchange is an option, but only in certain scenarios. Dr. Timothy Hodges is here to explain who may benefit from this procedure. Hello, doctor.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
You always teach us so much when you stop in.
Yeah,
Well, I really enjoy this, and thank you for having me back.
maybe I'll be an eye doctor in my second life.
Well, you're kind of doing an internship right now.
Right, exactly. I feel like I'm an intern.
Right. So tell us about lens exchange and who is the right patient for this.
Okay. Well, a lot of people know I do LASIK, and we do LASIK consults, and about 25% of the patients that see us for LASIK are not really good candidates for the procedure. And fortunately, we do have alternatives for them. And one of the procedures that's a good alternative to LASIK is refractive lens exchange. It's basically cataract surgery before a patient has a cataract. And it's a little more involved because we're actually doing a surgery rather than an external procedure like we do with LASIK. But the outcome can be really excellent. And some people are really much better suited for refractive lens exchange than they are for LASIK. You know, with LASIK, I changed the shape of the outside of the eye. And it's kind of like changing the shape of the cornea to match like the shape of a contact lens so the patient can see without glasses. But with refractive lens exchange, we're actually changing the lens inside the eye. Because I know I'm going to do anatomy again here.
That's fine.
It helps, though.
Okay, so right behind your pupil is a lens. And it's just like a little camera lens.
Okay.
And that's what changes and becomes a cataract as we age. So when that lens is changed, we have these artificial lenses that take its place. And these are sort of like contact lenses. So it's kind of like putting a contact lens inside the eye behind the pupil. Now, not everybody is a suitable candidate for this. For example, people under 40 would rarely ever be suitable for this because they might have a lot of difficulty reading. Their distance vision could be much better, but they might have difficulty with the reading. This is really a better procedure for people that are over 40 who've pretty much already gone through that problem of the close vision, so they're already experiencing near vision problems. And it's not that we can't address those problems, but it's just a lot easier in a patient over 40. Sometimes when, I'm sorry, you were going to ask a question.
I read that sometimes the cornea is too thin
Exactly.
to do LASIK.
Right.
Okay, so that's another scenario that you would want to talk to someone about?
Right. You might have a patient whose cornea is too thin, or they might have an eye disease where the cornea should not be operated on. And that would be another patient that would be good for it. There's another class of patients, because most of the people that have LASIK are nearsighted. And I think you both were nearsighted before you had your procedures. And I know you're great fans of the procedure, but there are a lot of patients who are farsighted. Now, farsighted patients generally don't experience a lot of vision problems until they're over 40 anyway.
Okay.
In fact, some farsighted patients really don't experience many problems until they're almost 50. And this class of patients is really best suited for refractive lens exchange. LASIK is a great procedure for people that are nearsighted. And I do LASIK, and there's no upper age limit. You know, so I'm using 40, we're saying 40 for refractive lens exchange, but I don't mean to imply that you can't have LASIK if you're over 40. I've done LASIK on patients who have had cataract surgery who are actually in their 70s. So there's no upper limit to the procedure for LASIK, but some people are just better suited to refractive lens exchange.
But they work the same, correct? Like the outcome is the same.
The outcome can be the same.
Okay.
And the other thing that's nice about refractive lens exchange is it's permanent.
Also, like with LASIK, sometimes you might resort back to your old vision.
Well, no, you'll never get back to your old vision. And people ask me that all the time. But as we age, the lens in the eye changes.
Okay.
Now, most of those changes aren't really noticeable until you pass 45. And so if you've had LASIK when you were 25, you know, you're not really thinking a lot about that. But if you're 45 and you're thinking about LASIK, the fact that the lens of the eye is going to change as we age is very important. And it can change in such a way that it can actually bring back some of the nearsightedness. Not all of the nearsightedness, but some of it. And if we do refractive lens exchange, it's a permanent procedure. That the eye's not going to change. And people ask me, well, you know, will I have to have, in 5 years, will I have to do it again, or will we need to take the lens out? And I tell them no, because optically, once we replace the lens, the eye is stable. The eye's not going to grow. The lenses are permanent, and they're made of an acrylic material that will last forever. And the shape of the eye doesn't change as we age. So that's why it's a permanent procedure.
Quickly, doctor, is this an outpatient procedure, and do you do both at the same time?
It is an outpatient procedure. It's done under local anesthesia. I only do one eye at a time. And I can do them as close as 1 week apart. But it's really not best to do this procedure both eyes at the same time.
Well, doctor, thank you so much for always being so informative and for teaching us so much.
This goes by so fast.
I know, doesn't it?
There's just so many other things I wanted to talk about.
Next time.
Okay, thank you.
And to make your appointment, you can call 326-4321, or you can learn more online at HodgesEyeCare.com. Again, that number is 326-4321 or HodgesEyeCare.com.
Still ahead on the Morning Blend, we're giving away a DVD with an action twist on the story of Hansel and Gretel and talking about the new Kevin Costner movie.
Plus, right after the break, we'll sit down with our favorite rabbi for a quick Passover lesson and ask him about a famous guest he's hosting for Seder dinner. That's right after the break.
Very good.
Ed Asner would come.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Is he Jewish?
Yeah, he's Jewish.
He is?
He grew up Jewish in St. Louis.
Why Window World is a clear choice. Professional service, lifetime warranty, that's Window World. Simply the best for less. Call 520-747-1560 or email us at tucson@windowworld.com.
I got this at the flea market. Eldon cleaned it. What do you think?
Eldon Drapery, Carpet, and Upholstery Cleaners has the experience and expertise to protect your finest materials. No matter what happens, Eldon can clean it.
Well, the celebration of Passover begins next week. This year's festival will feature a famous actor sitting down with local humanitarian workers for Seder dinner.
Rabbi Cohen is here from Temple Emmanuel to tell us all you need to know about Passover that is quickly approaching.
It is coming up Monday night, sundown Monday night, for a week or 8 days, depending on whether you're conservative, Reform, Orthodox, or randomly Jewish. And we'll be eating matzah and celebrating freedom, the festival of spring, the festival of Pesach, the Passover offering, and really, in many ways, the most observed Jewish holiday of all, quite right there with Hanukkah in America. We have a great Passover planned. I was asked just a moment ago, what is matzah? Which is a question we ask at the Seder. We'll ask it at Temple Emmanuel next Tuesday night at our second night Seders. And we will ask it again at a Freedom Seder we're doing the next to last night of Passover. That's one you mentioned. And matzah is the unleavened bread of affliction. It's the symbolic of the ways that our ancestors had to make food in a very short period of time when they escaped from slavery in Egypt 3,200 years ago. And matzah is unique in many ways. It can't be cooked for more than 18 minutes from the time you start to make it until it's done. And secondly, it is guaranteed to have no flavor whatsoever.
Which means it's delicious and your favorite food.
Yeah, it tastes the same as my tie. It tastes the same as this box. But by the way, a lot of people love matzah. God bless them. They can have mine.
There you go.
So what are some traditional Seder dinner meal not supplements, aspects of the meal, I guess?
Yeah, it's a great question. The Passover Seder is the greatest teaching tool ever invented. It's a way of teaching the great virtue of freedom, and in the case of our Freedom Seder, of saving lives, by touching on every sense. So you have taste, you're tasting matzah, you're tasting bitter herbs to remind you, it's maror, to remind you of the bitterness of slavery. You eat charoset, which is this lovely mix, it's right here on TV right now, of apples and nuts in the Ashkenazic tradition and other sweet things. And it looks like the mortar that was used between the bricks. So you're trying to teach about slavery. You dip parsley in salt water, reminding you of the tears of the slaves. All of these are ways in which we exercise every sense to remind ourselves that we live in freedom and that it's a fantastic gift and blessing. And so the Seder uses all of these different symbolic foods as well as lots of great delicious foods. The one thing you can't have is anything leavened, as a reminder that this all had to happen so quickly. So there's all kinds of special spring cleaning we do. We get all the leavening out of the house. And in a way, we get all the adulteration out of our lives. It's a chance to kind of not only clean our homes, but clean our lives, make us better. The hard-boiled egg reminds us of the spring, but we dip it in salt water again, reminding us of the offerings we made to God in the days of the temple. Lots of really beautiful ways of connecting us to that great virtue of freedom.
And you mentioned that you have a couple Seder dinners to go to.
We do.
Why do you have so many?
Because, they did a survey of Jews, what holiday do you celebrate the most? Because, American Jews, we have great freedom of choice, right? It's freedom. And Passover is the top one. So there are lots of people who want to celebrate the Seder. And the Seder is not, you don't just go to temple to celebrate the Seder in terms of sitting in a congregation. You can have a big auditorium, you can have a big sanctuary, lots of people can sit there. You actually have to sit around tables. So there's only so many people you can squish in wherever you go. We have a big one at our house. We have, 30-some people the first night. Second night at temple, we'll have, between 100 and 150 people for our second night Seders. People can still come if they want to sign up for those by calling Temple Emmanuel. We have one in the Northwest because people don't like to travel as far. Theoretically, you're supposed to drink 4 cups of wine. You should do that over a long period of time, and then you shouldn't drive. But if you're going to drive close in any case. So we have one in the Northwest that'll be great, led by Rabbi Batsheva Appel and Marjorie Hochberg. And then we have 2 model Seders, one for our preschool, one for our religious school. And I've forgotten, I think there was a women's Seder last night at Temple. And then sort of the new one that we started this year with Humane Borders. Because Passover is about freedom and we talk about God as our Redeemer, redeeming us from destruction on the shores of the sea. So we decided that it was a good time to commemorate trying to save lives. The greatest Jewish mitzvah of all is Pekuach Nefesh, saving a life. And we know that between the Mexican border and Tucson, close to 200 people a year die crossing the desert. So we're not trying to encourage immigration, we're trying to keep people from dying. And working with Humane Borders, we were able to have the great Emmy-winning actor Ed Asner, who is Jewish, come out and help lead the Seder. I get to be I guess I'm the riding shotgun with Ed Asner. It seems like the wrong term for a Seder, but it should really be great fun. He's a wonderful guy, and I think it'll be a really powerful and meaningful lesson about the great joy and beauty of freedom, and also about the need to save lives in any free country.
How many people do you expect at that dinner?
We expect it to sell out. It's pretty close now. So if people want to go, they should call Temple right away. We can accommodate, it's a sort of a Jewish number, 180 people will fit. That's 18 is the magical number chai in Hebrew, which means life. We can accommodate 10 times that. We were at 158 or 60 this morning, so I'm sure it'll sell out.
Wow.
But we are going to try to live stream it as well on our website. And hopefully Kika can come cover it as well, which would be great.
Exactly.
So it should be, I think it'll be an extraordinary event.
Thank you, Rabbi, for our quick little lesson and for sharing what you have planned for next week.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to eat the matzah, which I don't recommend, we do have these delicious homemade macaroons by Irene Steimler of our congregation.
Okay.
They are kosher for Passover, so these you should eat.
Okay.
This I will definitely.
And there is delicious food for
you.
Passover.
You're welcome.
All right. Happy Passover to you.
Thank you so much. Happy Passover. We say Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Learn more about what's going on at Temple Emmanuel on North Country Club. You can call 327-4501 or go online to templeemmanueltucson.org. Again, that's 327-4501 and templeemmanueltucson.org.
And we'll be right back.
Okay, good. Hi, Sally.
Stu Fair.
Ah, spring. Oh, spring cleaning. Transform your old bathroom into a new creation. We have features that add space, eliminate clutter, and improve safety. To save $500 on a complete bathtub or shower remodel, call Rebath in Tucson today.
Hello, I'm Brett Zadovnik of Tucson Coin Autograph. I'm proud of the fact that we've won an award from the Better Business Bureau and the American Numismatic Association. I'm proud that we've won a price comparison done by local news. But I'm most proud of the fact that we get most of our customers as referrals from our other customers. Thank you.
Well, in today's Hollywood happenings, we take a little football, sprinkle in lots of Kevin Costner, and we have a recipe for an epic sports movie. Our entertainment reporter Jim Ferguson joins to us talk about. I can't talk, but so you talk, Jim, about Draft Day.
Sally, I always love talking movies.
Me too.
With you. And how can I tell our audience that Draft Day, it's better than Moneyball?
I was going to ask.
Even though the whole idea is behind the scenes of the NFL, National Football League.
And wheeling and dealing and buying players.
Let me say this. It's the best movie of the year so far. It's very early.
Wow.
I know. But up to now, it's the very best movie. And you do not have to like football to enjoy this movie. Without a doubt, it's Kevin Costner's best performance ever. But let me tell you about the two people I'm going to talk to right now. Okay. Terry Crews, he does all the Marlon Wayans movies. He's in Everybody Loves Chris. He was an NFL football player for 6 years. He's just a great guy. He and Arian Foster, who's the running back for the Houston Texans and one of the best football players in the NFL today, they are together. They play father-son. He's supposed to be the Jimmy Brown character with his son who wants to play for the Brown. Here they are. You were at the 2009 Draft Day?
No.
Were you there?
No, I was not there.
You weren't there?
I was in Arizona hoping to be there.
Wishing
I was there.
Okay. It had to be disappointing.
Most definitely.
But boy, do you feel like you paid back a little bit now that you're an established great player for the Houston Texans?
Yeah, most definitely. It's the vindication at its finest. You know, you grow up wanting to get drafted. You don't get drafted, and then, you know, you get drafted in a movie. You know, along with, you know, these great actors, and then, you know, the career I've had so far, it's been a very surreal moment.
Now, I know players from Western Michigan University were not at the 1991 draft.
Look at that. Let me tell you, man. I got drafted in the 11th round. They don't have 11 rounds now. They don't have a Los Angeles Rams. There's a lot of things that don't exist anymore. Okay?
But yet 6 years in the NFL. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. Not bad, Terry. Yeah.
I was too dumb to quit. I just kept going. I mean, whenever anybody gave me an opportunity, I just kept going. I said I wanted to do what I loved, and there it was.
Football is the backdrop, of course, for Draft Day. But would you both agree with me? It's about relationships.
Oh, exactly.
Father-son, exactly. A love story.
Totally. Exactly. I mean, we used to go, you know, with the father-son dynamic with us, yes. And then when you look at the father-son dynamic that Kevin is portraying, you know, stepping into his deceased father's, you know, kind of enigma.
Could have been Paul Brown.
You know, right, exactly. And it's kind of, you know, and then you're talking about the ex-wives and the women and how hard it is to actually keep a relationship in the NFL. It's a hard deal.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad they talked about relationships, yeah. Now, a movie that came out, made a ton of money, and it's just being released this week, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. And Martin Freeman is Bilbo Baggins again, and he goes on a journey looking for their homeland. Of course, Gandalf the Grey will lead them, and it's an adventure. It's wonderful. It'll do very well in DVD, I'm sure. But here's Martin Freeman.
And the bells. The tales and songs fall utterly short of your enormity, O Smaug, the stupendous.
Why do you think your character, Bilbo Baggins, decided to continue this very dangerous journey?
I think once he's on the road, well, because you see that decision that he makes in the first film, where he's absolutely resistant to the idea, then he sleeps on it, comes down, finds his house empty, and thinks, if I don't get on this boat, it will never dock again, and goes out and lives for the first time, you know, has an adventure. By the time we join him in for the Desolation, I think that's now just his life. You know, that's literally the path he's on. And these people have become his friends and kind of his brothers.
Of Kevin in this movie.
All right. Well, that is coming out on DVD, and that won a Best Oscar for Sound.
Yes, it did, and nominated for a lot of visual effects. Friday, big day for draft day, which is real draft day is coming up, you know, in a few weeks.
Right.
Yeah, that's why they released it now, of
Oh.
course. But we have Kevin Costner will be here, along with Jennifer Gardner, who plays his love interest and the secretary of the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, okay. Well, we look forward to that.
Yeah.
And to seeing you again.
Well, I always look forward to seeing you. As Kevin Costner will tell you, he looks forward to coming to Tucson. He loves it here.
Oh, nice. All right. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you, Sally.
And right now, Jim has given us Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, the unrated cut on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital pack to give away. To win this date night movie, just head to our website, TucsonMorningBlend.com, and click on the contest page. Well, now let's learn about some must-haves for the whole family with Amanda.
We are all looking to make our lives a little bit easier, especially all of the moms out there. And joining me this morning with the latest on how to do just that is lifestyle editor Amy Goodman. Good morning, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I think we're all looking to streamline our lives, whether you're a mom or a single or a recent married person. I mean, time just slips away from us almost way too fast. That anything we can do to make our lives easier, I'm all about.
Well, and it all really begins with food, because if you think about buying, prepping, and getting food on the table, it's a really big stress, and 3 times a day. So we're going to talk about mealtime here, and Revolution Foods is a company that was founded by 2 moms who are passionate about bringing healthy food back into our schools, and recently they just served their 100 millionth healthy meal in a school nationwide. So can you imagine? This is a company who really knows what they're talking about. Now, they just launched the Revolution Foods meal kits, and what's great about these for kids, it's great healthy eating on the go that's natural, high quality ingredients, no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives, and kids just honestly love them. As a mom to 2 young kids myself, ages 7 and just turned 4, I can tell you I have been waiting for a product like this because it's really convenient, suits the lives of busy people. It also tastes fantastic. The kids devour them. They love it. And also, you can really feel good as a parent about offering your child a nutritious choice, whether that's at home, at school in the backpack, or on the go eating. Each meal kit actually contains at least 7 grams of whole grains and 1 serving of fruit, and it's absolutely packed with protein. And this is real food, as in real cheese, and a nitrate and nitrate-free deli meats, which you find in other, deli meats. There are 3 different choices, of course. Children love to have choices. So here we have ham and cheddar, and we have turkey and cheddar, and then the cheese pizza meal kit. They retail for about $3.49 to $3.99, which makes them affordable. And each kit also has a fun educational game that the kids love to play while they're eating.
And have you found that those actually fill your kids up? I know when I was little, I used to be an eater, big time eater, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Because it has such a high protein content, it does satiate, and kids are satisfied. And you can use these both for a meal, but also for a nice hearty snack. Now that kids have started to engage in spring sports, and you've got the soccer, lacrosse has started, baseball season, of course, is in full gear. Pretty soon, they're also going to be swimming. These are great things to take with you on the go, to throw in the gear bag, right? And when they have a little break, to have a nutritious snack instead of a not so great alternative. You can find these actually in the refrigerated deli meat section at your local grocer, and for you that would be Safeway at the end of the month. So at the end of April, they're doing a huge launch nationwide, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, if you want a store right this second, you can use their store locator at revolutionfoods.com.
And Amy, really quickly, obviously we all know that breakfast is the most important part of the day, especially for our kids. Any quick tips on making sure that our kids are getting the breakfast that they need, but also out the door at the same time?
One of my great tips for breakfast is to do a slow cooker oatmeal that works overnight, so it's cooking while we're sleeping. In the morning you have a delicious, healthy breakfast that you can top with dried nuts and dried fruit. And then once they have their great meal, you throw a meal kit into their backpack for lunch, and you can rest assured that for more than half of their day, your children are going to be healthfully fueled. So for more information, again, make sure you visit revolutionfoods.com. And it's been such a pleasure spending time with you today.
Amy, well, thank you so much. And that was actually a wonderful tip. I love those overnight oatmeal, easy bake things.
Very cool.
And don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be back before you know it.
Quarters up, and I was like this far in, putting my name in, and
So you can. Your dreams are too important to trust them to just anyone. For over 31 years, Buzz Dempsey has been providing Tucson expert loan advice. Call 520-444-3982 and make your dreams come true.
Don't just take a walk in the park. Take the wheel at Tucson Park and Sell RVs. You can save thousands during the end of season inventory blowout on everything from economical trailers to luxurious Class A motorhomes. Tucson Park and Sell RVs at 6990 East Old Vale Road. Call 574-9344.
Thunder and lightning will be filling our Tucson skies this weekend as Davis-Monthan opens its gates to the public.
the Thunderbirds will be among 14 aerial demonstrations along with aircraft displays on the ground, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Joining us this morning from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base is Major Patrick Smiley.
Well, thank you.
Major.
Hello, good morning. How are you? Thank you, Amanda and Sally, for letting me on the program this morning to talk about our upcoming open house and air show this weekend.
We miss it when it's not around, so we're glad it's back this year.
This is one of the first post-sequestration air shows, too, and it's all about building trust and confidence, not only in the people of Southern Arizona, but also of the United States. We want to invite the city out and the community to take a look at what we do at Davis-Monthan. And that's why it's called an open house and not just an air show. So not only are you going to have a chance to see all the entertaining aerial acts, including the Thunderbirds, the Winds of Blue, the Desert Lightning Team demonstration, which is going to include our A-10s, H-60s, and C-130s, as well as our EOD. But we'll also get to see what some of the other base functions do in our DM story area, which is going to be right as you enter in through the front gate. So you'll get a chance to see our security forces, our 12th Air Force partners, as well as many other different organizations at the open house this weekend.
Whenever I go to air shows, I always wish I was a pilot. I mean, it really is truly amazing what they can do and how fast they're going.
It is a really fun job, and I hope everybody who attends gets a chance to see the hard work and professionalism of our Air Force pilots out at the open house and air show this weekend.
You make it look easy.
Yeah,
really
well,
do.
I hope we do. And
Because you're an A-10 pilot yourself.
I am an A-10 pilot, yes. So I've been flying out at the base, but this weekend my job is going to be making sure that when everybody shows up at 9 o'clock at the Craycrofter Swan Gate, that their experience is not only top-notch for learning about what we do on the base, but also an entertaining experience for the whole family. It's going to be it's completely free parking.
Wow.
Everything this weekend is going to be geared towards making sure that our community gets a chance to take a look at what we do behind the curtain at DM.
And can people bring in like snacks and food and things like that, or will there be like food trucks and things there?
We're going to have a fully set up food catering at the event. So there'll be all kinds of food vendors for people to choose from. So that's going to be part of the fun too. It's not going to be all business at this air show. We're going to have some fun out there too with our food vendors. We're going to have a kid zone set up with bouncy castles for children, all kinds of different opportunities for people to go out, learn about the Air Force and the military, and also have a good time too.
And I know that you're looking forward to Friday is Heroes Day.
That's right.
And you gave us a special surprise to someone who works for the Bins Belts Project.
We did. Part of this event is giving back to the community too. One of the ways that we're doing that is through the Thunderbirds. We are going to fly Jeanette from Ben's Bells on the Hometown Hero flight on this Friday.
Wow.
And what is she doing?
She is going to get the opportunity of a lifetime to go in with Thunderbird 8 and fly with the Thunderbirds. It's going to be a great experience for her.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. What is the difference between like you and the Thunderbirds?
Well,
or are you a Thunderbird?
I'm not a Thunderbird,
Okay.
but the Thunderbird's job is to go out and show everybody. They'll go on tour to all these different air shows, and they want to show the world what the Air Force pilots and the whole Air Force team in general does on a daily basis. So their job is to engage with the community and with the public and show them the professionalism of our United States Air Force. So Jeanette is going to get a chance to see that firsthand.
That's super cool.
And it'll be, well, we couldn't think of a more deserving person to do that as well. So she is the 2014 Tucson Hometown Hero, and we are very excited about giving her the opportunity to fly with the Thunderbirds this weekend.
She's going to pull a couple G's in those F-16s.
She is, but I think if anybody can handle it, it's going to be her. I think it'll be a great flight and a great chance to give a little bit of kindness back to Jeanette.
And what about parking?
Parking, that's a great question. It is completely free at this year's event. If you went in 2012, it was kind of a bit of a hike. Well, we've revamped that parking plan. It's going to be a lot shorter of a walk for everybody who's attending. Also, for our handicapped guest, if they enter through the Craycroft gate, we will have plenty of ample handicap parking available for them to utilize.
And quickly, Major, I know you wanted to talk about the food drive.
I do. Another way we're giving back to the community during this year's open house is we've partnered with the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona. So everybody who attends, we'd like to ask them to please bring a non-perishable food item. We'll have plenty of collection points for them to drop those off. And that's just one way that, you know, as a community, we can all give back to the people of Arizona. So we're really fortunate to have them as a partner with this year's event.
Oh, how cool. Well, Major, thank you so much for joining us today and getting us all fired up for the Thunder and Lightning show.
Thank you very much. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys out there this Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m.
Perfect. Well, the Thunder and Lightning over Arizona is a Davis-Monthan Air Force Base open house event this weekend. To learn more about it, you can call 228-3406 or go online to dm.af.mil/index.
And right now we have a pair of Flightline Club tickets and a pair of Beer Garden tickets to give away. If you want a chance to win them, just head to our website, TucsonMorningBlend.com, and click on the contest page.
And the Morning Blend will be right back. We have all heard of fad diets or even tried some of them, and they seem to appear and disappear just like putting on weight and taking it off. The reality is they don't always work, and at the Weight Loss Institute of Arizona, they help people lose weight for good. Joining us this morning is Dr. DeBarris, Sarah Duke, and James Dallas. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Doctor, let's start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Weight Loss Institute of Arizona?
Weight Loss Institute of Arizona is a company that we started, my partner and I, Mike Orris, started it back in 2006. Prior to that, we were working in bariatrics as well, but we got together and decided to start this company. And we have been doing all types of bariatric surgery since that time. Currently, we specialize in lap band, but we do other types of bariatric procedures as well. Gastric bypass, gastric sleeves, and several investigational studies that we have ongoing. But we pretty much specialize in lap band, and that's why we're here today.
And for people that don't know what lap band is, tell us a little bit about the surgery.
Lap band is a device that's placed laparoscopically around the upper portion of the stomach. And so basically it's a band that we place around the upper portion of the stomach, and that band is connected to tubing. And that tubing is connected to a little tiny port which goes underneath the skin. So everything is concealed, you can't see it, and you don't even know you have it. So essentially we do little tiny adjustments on the band, and it compresses an upper portion of the stomach area so that when you eat, food will go into that upper portion and kind of trickle through over time. So it slows down and makes you feel full. So it slows down the amount of food you can eat and makes you feel full while you're doing it.
And how do patients know if they're a good fit for the lap band?
Well, typically what we like to see is there are criteria. There are criteria from the NIH and there are criteria from the FDA. The NIH, which is the National Institutes of Health criteria, tell us that a BMI of greater than 35 with certain comorbidities. So a BMI of greater than 35 is approximately 75 to 85 pounds overweight and greater qualify for a lap band procedure. And if you're a BMI of 35, you also need what's called comorbidities in some cases. Some insurances require it, like hypertension, sleep apnea, diabetes, those kinds of issues that are affecting you. And most of our patients are on tons of different medications for these things. The FDA just came out with new criteria about a year ago, which states that a BMI of about 50 or about 50 pounds overweight also could meet criteria for the lap band.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know about this lap band procedure, but it sounds like it's really effective.
Yeah, it sure is. And it works on several patients. We have the approximate weight loss is somewhere around 53 to 55% of your excess body weight loss should be gone. And it's very durable, and it's a good procedure that has really low complications.
And Sarah, you're a dietitian.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you work with the patients.
I see the patients when they come in before they get the band, just to talk about some diet goals that we have for them and lifestyle changes that they need to incorporate into their life before they get the band. There are a few changes that they need to make in the way they eat, and so we work on that. And then I also see them when they come in for their follow-up visits, just to make sure that they're on track with their eating and their exercise.
And you put together, I'm assuming, like an entire plan, because I'm sure with this there has to be some major lifestyle changes. Can you just talk a couple examples for us?
Yeah, sure. The first and most important change is the volume of food that they eat. When you have the band, you can only comfortably eat about a half a cup to a cup of food at a time. So that's a major change for people.
Huge change.
So we spend a lot of time working on that. It allows them to eat about 1,200 to 1,500 calories comfortably.
Wow, interesting. And James, you were a patient.
Yes, I am a patient.
Tell us a little bit about your experience.
I just went to Dr. DeBarris and said I'm ready to, do something about my weight. Being 507 pounds is very tiring. So I was tired of being tired, and I made that call. Seen Dr. DeBarris, and he said, "Okay, we got a plan. We're gonna put you on a pre-op diet, eat tuna, and do your protein shakes, and drop weight, get the band, and keep losing weight."
And what has your experience been after the surgery?
Nothing but positive. Just outgoing.
And how much weight have you currently lost?
260 pounds.
260
Yes.
pounds. And that was with the lap band, correct? Or how much did
No, I lost 179 pounds before the lap band, and then after the lap band, you know, just keep dropping.
22 weeks out. He's
22 weeks out? I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, this is a procedure that truly does change lives.
And it took about 30 minutes to do his procedure, operative time, and with anesthesia, everything else, about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's an outpatient procedure. The lap band is fully adjustable, it's fully reversible, and it's really, in terms of all the procedures, it doesn't deform the stomach. It doesn't, you're not taking away part of the stomach or dividing it and reconnecting things like that. This is pretty basic procedure. That is a good procedure, and it's a durable procedure for patients.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. James, thank you for sharing your story with us. And Dr. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And make sure to register for one of their free weight loss seminars by calling 885-887-8446. Or you can always go online to their website, WLIAZ.com. Again, that's WLIAZ.com. And stay right where you are. The Morning Blend will be right back.